Welcome back to the podcast, guys. My name is Andrew. I got Brandon here with me, like always.
What up?
And thank you for checking out our views on the sidelines. As you can tell, we got a special guest today. We got Joey Mata. Joey, appreciate you.
I'm glad to be here.
Good. You live here. So, yeah. He's here so he doesn't get fined.
I'm here so I don't get fined.
I love it. Ah, man, we got a packed show today. It's going to be a lot of fun, hopefully. I know Brandon hates me.
But I love you.
Yeah,
No,
Joey
I don't
loves
hate
me.
you. I hate podcasting.
Okay.
There's a big difference.
Okay. So you love me.
Yeah, I just hate podcasting. I hate the fact you make me do this, but I don't hate you.
Listen, I try to quit podcasting on the other podcasts all the time.
Yeah, but you started the podcast.
I didn't start that.
You guys aren't going nowhere.
You guys, that was your guys' idea.
It was a group effort, all right?
Yeah, 4 of you.
Hey, you volunteered for this, and now you're stuck.
now you live here.
Yeah, so
Still.
it's even worse. Oh, man. Well, we got a packed show today, so let's get
You
right
said
into
that.
this bad boy.
Go for
You
it.
said that already.
I know
Twice.
I said that.
What a guy.
Please. This is my TED Talk.
Oh, hold on.
We just started this damn fucking podcast, and he's already going off. I know we just started, and he's already going off. Like the fact that we can't just get through the intro, or
We keep repeating things.
if we get
Already over the intro.
just go with the first topics, please. Thank you, sir.
As much trouble as we have here, there's also trouble in Patriots camp.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there is a lot of trouble going on in Patriots camp right now, and it's pretty funny.
What's the main?
All right, so
Your hat looks
apparently,
really high, by the way.
Huh?
It looks like you have a Tom Brady head. Just want to throw that out there. I don't know if the hat's too big.
no, it's a snapback. So I mean,
Oh, okay.
I think
Got thrown off by that.
yeah, it's a snapback. I mean,
Sorry.
I'm trying to
Continue.
like break it in a little bit, I guess, but it's just not working out for me. I don't know. I'm not a hat guy. Well, I am a hat guy, just not these type of hats. So
Am I wrong?
yeah, I look weird. Okay, should I just take it off? Like my hair's worse than
Put it
this.
backwards. That's more swag. Open it up, bro. You know, cut circulation off.
Dude, I have a small head.
Oh, you do. That's fine. It looks better that way.
I have a small head.
It's like a church window. All right, continue, I'm sorry. That's distracting.
Here from, everybody loves Dills to this podcast. I just get it all day. I never get a break.
himself, didn't he? By wearing that?
I wore it
you
before.
gave him the opportunity.
Yeah.
Apparently, any opportunity with me is an opportunity. Apparently.
It is.
Anyways, all right. So, biggest deal. Apparently, so they do a lot of like 11 on 11s and 7 on 7s in camp and stuff. And apparently, this offense cannot block to save their lives. Like, even in practice, Mac Jones is getting sacked. He is throwing interceptions. He's getting rushed out of the pocket. This guy, like the entire offense as a whole, is just a shit show,
So
to say the word.
would you say that the defense is on the better side, or is it just flat out that the O-line isn't?
Okay, so they're gonna contact this not all-star, kind of like one of the better lineman coaches who's been retired for like 3-4 years. They're actually gonna call him back because of the fact that this offensive line is struggling that hard. And this guy's in a beach house somewhere, not caring. He's like, I don't want to do this shit yet. They're gonna pay him a lot of money to come back. So I don't think the defense is that great.
The O-line is just struggling.
I think the O-line is just that much trash.
Oh.
And then my other issues with Mac Jones, like I had them, I believe I put him like 10th in the AFC. I might put him down to like, 13. They might struggle.
If they don't clean up the O-line.
Yeah, because I know it's early. It's training camp. People are trying to get used to like lingos and, verbiage and just assignments and stuff like that. And I understand it. But if you can't even block at practice, imagine trying to go ahead against like Aaron Donald.
True.
And, you're going to struggle.
Do you think Mac Jones plays a role in it? Like, failure to kind of lead the O-line, or maybe the O-line just, there's something there that they don't want to protect him?
Right. I don't think it's that. Mac Jones, I like Mac Jones a lot. He reminds me a lot of kind of like a Brady-esque player. Like,
Okay.
kind of like they're similar in like play styles. Like neither one of them get out the pocket. They play in the pocket type of deal. And for what I've heard, it's not too much of a. He gets along with the O line very well. But I think his decision making and his lack of confidence from his coaches, I think it's rubbing off on the O line
Okay.
because they haven't trusted him to like go win a game. Like so, like the game against the Buffalo Bills, right, where they ran the ball 44 times. If that was Tom Brady, they'll let Tom Brady throw the ball.
Right.
Like they'll let him throw against the wind. They don't care. But
So you think the confidence in Mac Jones just isn't there?
yeah,
That's
I don't
kinda-
think he's got it yet because he hasn't had the opportunity to actually show it.
That plays a major role. I mean, like, you're the quarterback, dude. Like, you gotta, even if you're not necessarily like at like Tom Brady's level, you still have to be a leader. You know what I mean? You gotta have that aura of confidence.
Right.
So if you're lacking there, then yeah, I can see how the O line isn't, backing them up
Right.
as much as they should.
Right. Definitely. Like that's what I think is happening. I mean, I think it's like an O line deal. I think it's a confidence deal from the coaching staff. But I don't know. Hopefully they can clean it up in camp. They got a lot of time left for their first
I
game.
mean, if they're bringing back an ex-coach, I mean, I hope they better. They better.
I know, right? What's the next one, buddy?
Well, then what's the season overall for Patriots then?
So, if they bring back this O line guy, I feel like he's going to be able to adjust the line. Maybe their blocking schemes are too complex. A lot of the times, like if you simplify it, it works out a lot better. They're going from from football terms, I guess they're going from a line block scheme to like a zone block scheme. So if you think about it, like you have zones to protect instead of guarding the man in front of you type of deal. So, and zone blocking is very difficult when it comes to like defensive stunts. Like a defender goes one way, linebacker comes another way. It just kind of gets confusing for the line. So maybe they need to like simplify the zone. But I don't. They're gonna have a tough division because obviously they have the Bills, they got Miami. I forget who else is in that division. Oh, the Jets. The Jets are the Jets. Who cares about them?
What guy?
Yeah, the Jets suck. I like Zach Wilson, and obviously, everybody's trying to smash his mom apparently, but that's a whole different situation.
That's a whole other story. That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, like his mom's going nuts, but we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about those dilfs. But honestly, like for the Patriots themselves, I don't see them going. I had them going into the wild card for the playoffs, but if these struggles keep going, I don't see them. I don't see them getting in there. Like I think they might end up losing the division, like last place and losing to the Jets.
Damn, you think it's that bad?
Yeah, because the Jets actually made some good moves. They're just the Jets, sadly. But I think the Jets have improved enough to actually beat out the Patriots. And if these struggles keep happening for the Patriots, they're not gonna advance. And Mac Jones isn't gonna develop as he should. Because he went from, imagine him making the playoffs to him, missing the playoffs all entirely. It's going to crush his confidence.
Yeah, I was going to say, it comes back to the confidence. It's going to kill it.
Yeah, it's going to crush it. So, like, I don't, so we'll just go from that. I mean, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. So, but that's my overall prediction. Yeah. But, we'll see how it goes, I guess.
All right, then. We're going to switch over to the MLB trades game.
see.
I'm going to yell names, and you guys have to say it's a win, loss, or no big deal.
All right.
This is Joey's special, so
Yeah.
obviously this is why he's here.
All right.
That's why I'm here. That's why-
Juan Soto and Josh Bell to Padres.
So I think this is a win, even though I don't like the Padres.
How dare you say
obviously.
that?
But I think this is a win for them. Obviously, with Juan Soto, All Star, former World Series champ, so they're adding a lot of experience. Someone who's been there. He's obviously well known. He came in so before the trade, he already had 21 home runs, and his batting average was 246, which is pretty good, pretty damn good. He adds depth to their outfield. So I mean, and especially in that lineup already, they have Manny Machado and Tatis Jr.
Right.
And those two are also our players as well. So it adds a lot of depth to their lineup. So even though I despise this team, their lineup just got scarier.
Right.
So I believe they're in second behind the Dodgers right now. I don't think it's going to be enough to, like with Juan Soto alone, be enough to overcome the Dodgers. But I think they'll make it to the playoffs.
Right.
And then same thing with Josh Bell. So Josh Bell is a win because before he was traded to the Padres, the first baseman combined on the Padres,
Right.
they only hit 10 home runs. Josh Bell already has 14 alone.
Oh my God.
And then OPS, which is on base plus slugging percentage, his alone is, I believe it's an 0.877, and then the first baseman combined was only like a 7.54 or something like that.
Right.
So I think that's a win for them because then it cleans up their first baseman that slot. They don't have to worry about that. He's an everyday player. So once again, adding more depth to that lineup. Their lineup just got scarier. Like I said, I think it's a win for the Padres for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm gonna take both of wins as well, just because of the fact of what he said. I mean, they're both, high caliber All Star players. I mean, kind of the same thing. I'm a Dodgers fan, so I don't really
Yeah, it doesn't
care for the
scare me,
Padres. But it gives them
it gives the Dodgers a little
Yeah,
wake up call. Like, oh, okay,
we better wake up a little
they
bit.
want to play.
Yeah, exactly. But they both came from the Nationals, right?
Yeah, they both came from the Nationals.
Can we just take a second and just witness the Nationals just trade off all their All Stars?
National, yeah, really went and gave up everyone pretty much.
Like they had 6 All Stars on one team.
Sorry.
At one point, they had 6 All Stars on one point.
Yeah.
Or I mean, at least that would have been the case if they kept them all. It kind of they kind of remind me of OKC with Harden,
yeah.
with Harden, Russell Westbrook, and KD. Just trade off future Hall of Famers, no big deal. Hey, it's all good.
Yeah, that's all right.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, what's the next one, dude?
I have no idea what the hell that says.
Joey Gallo?
Yeah, it looks like a W and an L at the same time. So Joey
Say
Gallo.
Joey?
Yes, it's Joey.
Yeah, Joey got.
Okay, Joey Gallo to Dodgers.
So, I think this is a win because even though Joey Gallo has had a rough season with the Yankees, really rough season, he is still an all-star player. He is known for his power, and I just don't think him being with the Yankees was what he needed.
Like a good fit for him?
Yeah, I just don't think it was a good fit for him. Because prior to that, I think the season before this season, or the season before that, he had 25 home runs. I mean, he was an all-star player. He was there.
Right.
I think the switch kind of threw him off, and I think coming over to the Dodgers, I think is a good fit because everyone who comes to the Dodgers tends to get better, and they usually come over when they have a rough go. So I think him coming over the Dodgers, I think they'll be able to fix some things, help him gain confidence back, and get him back to that high caliber, of hitting.
Right.
And I mean, on top of that, adds the depth to the Dodgers in their outfield. He's going to be surrounded by MVPs, All-Stars, just a well-known organization. But I think if you're looking at his stats, you're probably looking at the Dodgers why did they make this move? But if you kind of read in between the lines and see, seeing where he's going to, like I said, I think he's going to be able to clean it up. I think it's going to take maybe a week or two.
Right.
But I think he's going to find a way to actually get put in the lineup more often than people think.
Okay. For me personally, I took it as like a kind of like a no big deal. Um, just because of the fact that he was struggling over there at the Yankees and stuff. But who knows? Maybe new scenery is what he needs.
Yeah, honestly, and
Yeah, and then like kind of like you said, you get the confidence back a little bit. I mean, the Dodgers obviously were a fun group over here in LA. It's a different
good family
environment.
fun.
Yeah, it's nice and hot out here. You don't got to deal with that nonsense over there in New York. But I think you just need the new scenery, change of scene, and I feel like it could probably end up turning into a win for the Dodgers. But just going off what I've seen so far and what I've been reading, I think I'm just gonna go with no big deal just to play it safe. But it's certainly not a loss.
Yeah, I don't think it's a loss at all.
Definitely not a loss because he is like you said, he is a power hitter. He is that dude. He can hit. So
Like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the Dodgers only gave up one of their prospects, one of their pitchers.
Mhm.
So I mean, at the end of the day, like kind of like you said, it's kind of like no big deal.
Mhm.
But I'm sorry.
it's over here coughing his
The
lungs off.
the reward that can come out of this is
Right.
pretty huge if it goes their way.
Okay, that's great. All right, buddy.
Josh Hader.
Yeah.
To Padres.
So Josh Hader to the Padres. This one I'm kind of mixed about. I kind of want to say no big deal, even though Josh Hader's dominant. He has 29 saves right now. He's a dominant pitcher, so don't get me wrong. But when he's not on his A game, he's very hittable, and he's shown in the past that he'll either give up a game, give up runs. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if he's coming over and he dominates, obviously it's a win. Okay, he's one of the most known pitchers in the game. He's left-handed, which makes it harder for most hitters to hit off of him anyway.
Right.
Once again, I'm not really scared because he's on the Padres, and the Dodgers are the Dodgers. But for me personally, like I said, I think it's no big deal because he's shown in the past that even in the playoffs, when it comes to okay, we need you to, close the game, he's kind of failed.
Right.
And a lot of the times has actually been against the Dodgers. So even if these two teams say they meet in the playoffs and it's an elimination game or it's to go on to the World Series, whatever it may be,
Right.
there's still that high chance of Josh Hader not fulfilling what he needs to do.
So he's basically a choke.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm getting at. I'm trying to say it nicely.
No, we're not nice here. As you can tell from Brandon jumping on me all the time.
But for me, no big deal. Like I said, it could be a win, but for me personally, no.
I think it's a win for the Padres, but it's no big deal for everybody else. I think because of the fact of they're kind of the Padres, and yeah, they made some bigger waves, like with obviously with Juan Soto and Josh Bell. I feel like people are more worried about that than Josh Hader.
Yeah, that's actually a bigger trade than the Josh Hader.
Yeah.
Because he came from the Brewers.
Okay.
And even the Brewers aren't really hurting as much. They knew that they couldn't, necessarily hold on to him.
Right.
But they were able to fill in the spots or fill in his spot and some with some other relievers.
Right.
So kind of like going off what you're saying, like it's kind of like a no big deal for everyone.
Right.
Because even though the Padres kind of think like they won in this situation, it's kind of just okay. We'll see how this goes, basically. Right. So.
But maybe for him too. Maybe for him being with the Padres, I don't know how you get a sense of a new scenery there. I guess, but maybe he turns that choking thing and ends up clutching up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
it probably won't be against the Dodgers, but he can probably do it somewhere else.
Doubtful against the Dodgers.
Doubtful against the Dodgers. Not going to be the Dodgers. Doesn't matter what they do, but just not with the Dodgers at all whatsoever. So overall, like, what was your biggest? I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. Yes. I don't know, with all the trades that you've seen and all the baseball news around, which one did you really like the most?
Which one did I like the most?
Yeah. Which one did you like the most out of all of them?
Because the Dodgers didn't pick up anyone I wanted them to pick up.
Yeah, the Dodgers are acting like the Lakers are now.
I mean,
Shit.
the most exciting trade, without a doubt, is the Juan Soto trade.
Right.
That's a big deal. He's just big name. Going over to a team that's contending. Obviously, big rivalry with the Dodgers, so it's a huge deal. And I mean, the Padres aren't the only team that were going after him. I mean, even the Dodgers were trying to go after him. So I mean, it's a pretty big deal. Another trade that I think is kind of big that I feel like no one's really talking about is actually the Noah Syndergaard one.
Uh-huh.
Even though he's trying to bounce back from an injury, he still is a high caliber pitcher.
Right.
And he went to the Phillies, who are currently third right now, but they're not far behind. So with his experience, with his demeanor on the mound, he can kind of with the new scenery thing, he could actually show out with the Phillies and actually give him a chance to actually come back and win the division,
right,
or just make it to the playoffs. And he's behind two former teammates with the Mets.
Okay.
And their pitching their pitching rotation isn't bad, and their lineup is actually pretty damn good too. So I think that's a pretty key move for the Phillies at least.
Right.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of other trades. None of them really wowed me, except the Juan Soto one. That's the only one that's going to be talked about for a while. I mean, it's obviously going to be watched out for.
Oh yeah, they're gonna want to see how that kind of blends together, if it can.
The one I'm actually kind of surprised about was I know it wasn't worth mentioning before, but I'm actually surprised about the Eric Hosmer one because he actually has a no trade clause, and then went back and still got traded to Boston, which doesn't really mean anything. Boston's in last place. Doesn't really I don't think that's a no big deal.
Right.
There's one more I'm thinking of, but I don't remember the name. That's kind of all I got. Like you said, the Juan Soto one. That's gonna be.
It's the heavy hitter right now.
That's the heavy hitter. That's the one that's gonna be watched out for the most.
Right.
For the remaining of the season. I mean, the Padres still have to deal with the Dodgers. Like I said, that's gonna be their biggest obstacle.
Right.
But to say they can't do it, I mean, as much as I say they can do it, there's that chance they actually can. So.
Right.
That's gonna be the trade to watch out for.
It's easy. All right, man. For me, I don't know. I don't know. This is why I have you here. You help me with baseball. Okay? It's hard for me to talk about baseball. We were talking about it on the other day on another episode. It's hard to talk about baseball. It's very hard. All right?
There's a lot going on in baseball.
There's a lot going on in baseball, but you got to look for it.
Yeah.
And, it's a lot of time consuming to try to find all that. And, too many numbers at me. WAR, IRAs, and all this,
numbers,
ERAs and all this
can
shit.
Really confusing.
It gives me a headache, and I don't want to die. But I think it's time for my top 50.
Mm-hmm.
It's down there, I think.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, all right. What's number?
We're on 40 already. 40 and 39, I think.
Oh, you're here for the treat.
Ooh, okay.
Probably know these names.
Probably.
I think we just talked about them too.
That's all you ever talk about. So main dudes.
No, I don't talk about those two. Well, this guy I actually talk
You
about.
can go back to 10 episodes and it's the only names he brings up. I promise you.
Yeah, I talk about this guy a lot though. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right.
It's only 5 NBA players he talks about.
Please.
Number 40, Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook. I put him at number 40. Mr. Triple Double himself. The Brody. That's his nickname, the Brody. I love the Brody. The Brody. All right. Westbrook, to me, he has a sort of a Allen Iverson effect to him. I've mentioned that before, where he's such an iconic player, but he's not going to be known for winning.
Okay.
I
can see that.
You know what I mean? He's not a winner per se. So let me go over his quick accolades real quick. So he's a 9-time All-Star, 3-time assist champ. He's a 08-09 All-Rookie team. He was an MVP, 2-time scoring champ, 9-time All-NBA player, and two assists. Oh, 2 assist MVPs. All-Star MVPs. Sorry, excuse me. He's won the All Star MVP twice, and he's part of the NBA 75 anniversary team. Just because of the fact that he has the triple double record, I personally would have never put him on there, but that's just me. Um, his stats are kind of like hurting a little bit because he's playing terribly. So he's averaged about for a career 22 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, 8 assists, and he shot about 43% from the floor. He is a guy who plays one way. Like when you talk about a guy who, when you talk about him, like he's very stubborn as a player. Like he doesn't change his.
I get ball, I score ball.
Yes, exactly what it is. I go get ball, I score
I
ball.
put ball in hoop.
Yes, that's what he is. He's a downhill player. He knows how to play the game, and he plays it hard, and I love that about him. But it's not winning basketball. Like, there's games where he's so worried about getting the triple-double instead of winning the game that they end up losing the game because he's so worried about getting it. You know what I mean? And, like, there's been multiple times where he's had great rosters. So, like, the first year without KD in 2016 or 2017 when he didn't have them, he dragged that team to the playoffs, and I would give him that. That's his first MVP year. That's the first year he averaged a triple-double. And he was on a warpath to try to get this team to the finals and beat out, the Golden State. Wasn't going to happen, but, he could try. But you watch him during that game, and it's kind of like he legit does everything. Talk about rebounding the ball. Out of 6'3" guard trying to get 11 rebounds a game. That's insane. Like you've never really heard of that. And and his issue is like right now, like with the Lakers, he has to handle the ball every single possession because that's the only way you could highly use him. And that's why he struggles right now because obviously with LeBron there, with AD there, he's playing kind of like a third fiddle role, and that's just not him.
Right.
But I'm not going to take away from his actual greatness because he is, like I said earlier, like he is the Allen Iverson of this generation. Like younger generations look up to Russell as we looked up to Allen Iverson. How he was like kind of like the smallest dude on the court, but yet
But
just
you ran it.
yes,
You
he was
ran.
a killer. Just an assassin out
answer.
there. Yes, the answer. And he's going to have that effect on him, and but also with the fact of same thing with Allen Iverson towards the end of his career. He couldn't change his game to fit on the team, and he couldn't really win. His thing above Russell Westbrook is that the fact that he dragged the team to the finals, which Russell Westbrook's probably never ever going to do. Like, even playing with LeBron and AD, he can't even get there. So it's just like, it just shows that he can't be that winner. So, but I got him at 40. I can't disrespect the 3 years in a row that he's had the triple-double. Out of 5 years, he's gotten he's averaged out of those 5 years, triple-doubles 4 times. So it's like, this dude's a monster.
This dude's everywhere.
Yeah. So, but he's had great teams. He's played with James Harden in Houston. He's played with Bradley Beal in Washington. They weren't that great, but he's had a great wingman. He's played with Paul George. He's played with Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. But he just can't. He couldn't win. So I can't put him higher than 40. I can't, realistically. But, I got him at 40. And that's what...
Still a savage, though.
Still a monster, though. Still a savage.
And then for 39, you have James Harden.
James Harden at 39.
You have James Harden at 39?
Yes.
Really?
Let me explain, sir. Yes, I do. I do.
James Harden.
James Harden at
Okay.
39.
I'm listening.
So, he's a 10-time All-Star, 3-time scoring champ. He's an assist champ as well. He's a 7-time All-NBA player. He is he's part of the All-Rookie team. He has also won Six Man of the Year in 2011. He was an MVP in 2018, and he's part of the NBA top 75 team as well. Again, I probably would have never put him there. I think he's a little too early for that. I would have put Dwight Howard over him.
Okay.
That's just me. And then for Russell Westbrook, he's part of the. Obviously, I said that he's part of the 75 team. I probably would have put T Mac above him, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yes.
James Harden is kind of like in the same boat as Russell Westbrook. They're not known for winning.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like James Harden, since he's left OKC and got out of that 6-man role, and when he was a superstar himself, he's had some amazing teams. Like his failures are way more apparent than what Russell Westbrook's are. Because he's had Golden State down 3-1. I know 3-2. Just need a game to close it out, and he chokes out and ends up shooting only 6 of 12. No, he ends up shooting 6 of 18. And just flaming out. And then he's also had other games where by himself, actually with Dwight Howard, same situation against Golden State, had him down 2-1. He couldn't win a game after that. So James Harden has this issue of like he's a great regular season player. Like he's averaged about 36 in a year before. He's averaged 36 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like his career averages right now are 24 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists on 44% shooting. But those are just his averages. Like those are considering the years that he came off the bench. They're not considering the fact that this dude, you're talking about a guy who went 12 games straight averaging like 40, 50. Like this dude is a monster. What's up, buddy? What's up? Homie came in, so I had to say what's up real quick. But like I said, like they're not taking into account that this guy just ran off like 12 games in a row, averaging nothing under 30. And for that feat, like doing that, like it hasn't been done since Kobe's done it. Kobe and T-Mac went back and forth, averaging 50 or dropping 50, dropping 60.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy comes back and drops 60 again. Like, you don't see players that can score the ball like this guy. But when it comes to the playoffs for James Harden, he kind of shrinks down a little bit and doesn't take that next step to be that winner. And then obviously he asks out of Houston to go to Brooklyn. Obviously that didn't work out because that was a nightmare situation. But and then from Brooklyn he ends up now back with Philly, or now with Philly where he wanted to go in the first place. And I don't think that's gonna work. You're fine. You could just open it. Oh no, you're good. But like I said, like now he's with Philly, and it looks like it's gonna be the same story. It's not really gonna work because James Harden isn't that player anymore. He's not the James Harden of Houston. But I can't disrespect about what he's done. Of being, an MVP in 2018, but he should have to. Like the year Russell Westbrook won the MVP, that should have been James Harden's. And so he should be a 2-time MVP. But he's also should be an NBA champion as well.
Right.
Because he should have beat Golden State. And then I believe that Houston team would have beat the Cavs in 2018. But that is just me. But throughout all his accolades and everything, I just have James Harden at 39. I can't put him anything higher than that. I know it's a little. I'm gonna hear it from some people, but that's just.
You might hear it.
I might hear it. Alex gives me some shit all the time.
Especially have Russell and James Harden back to back.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't. They don't win. There's guys lower than him that actually have, rings, but they just haven't done what these two have done. And like their accolades are great, but I can't. They don't have no rings to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't disrespect like their accolades. I just can't. I can't do
That
it.
makes sense.
Can't do it, buddy. But that's it from me. I don't know. We have anything else? You want to say anything else?
He just hates podcasting.
He does. How are you on time?
35.
35?
Better for me.
What a guy. We did that in all 35 minutes.
See how easy it could be to make a podcast short?
No. This podcast could be short. The other ones can't. You jerk. Anyways.
Not bad though. 35 is cool.
What a guy.
We're getting better.
He wants it down to 15.
At least.
He hates my podcast.
I hate all podcasts. I told you this.
Don't you making a podcast?
No, I'm not doing it anymore. It's
Why
too
not?
much bullshit.
What do you mean it's too much bullshit?
No, I don't even like editing these two.
I'll edit yours.
No. Edit your own.
Huh?
Edit your own then.
No.
Yeah, see?
No.
That's too much bullshit in a podcast. I'm just going to throw that idea in the trash.
Come on, bro.
No, I'm good.
But that's probably going to be it for us. I don't know if you have any questions, comments, concerns about James Harden or Russell Westbrook.
We just need to stop hanging out with little baby.
Like I said, you have him back to back. You might get some lashback, some backlash, some whoosh for that one.
I might. But you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I'm going to take
It's
it.
your podcast.
I'm that guy.
I'm just here because I'm not fine.
Yeah.
I live here.
What do you think?
What do you say, right? But Joey, I appreciate you helping me out
Always a pleasure.
with the baseball stuff because, I am incompetent when it
Dense.
comes to baseball.
You say
Big
facts.
It's dense.
Oh, dense.
I am dense. Brandon, I appreciate you helping me out all the time
Yo,
and
yup.
doing what you do for me
Man, I
and
love
us. Go ahead, give us 5 stars. He hates his face. Look at him. He hates it. I wish I had a camera behind me to watch him.
No, I'm
'cause
good behind the scenes.
He hates all of this.
I'm cool.
But give us 5 stars. Go share the podcast. Go share it with your friends. Share it with your family. You can share this one with your family.
Oh, this one you can.
This one you can share with your family.
Yeah,
this one's fine.
Yeah.
This is a family friendly.
Don't mind.
But go subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Go follow the Twitter page at Dill's Views. And that is it for me. Thank you again, Joey. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah.
And we are out of here. Bye, guys.